Hi, I'm Randall here in Texas.
And I'm Matt here in Michigan. Today, Randall and I are doing an animated film that came out in theaters in 2019. It is Spies in Disguise. The movie was done by Blue Sky Studio and has a big star-studded cast, including Will Smith, Tom Holland, Ben Mendelsohn, Rashida Jones, Karen Gillian, DJ Khaled, Reba McEntire, and Rachel Brosnahan. It's a animated film that's about two unlikely characters coming together. One of them a spy, and he's turned into a pigeon in hopes of catching the bad guy. So, Randall, what'd you think about Spies in Disguise?
I had a lot of fun watching Spies in Disguise. I I particularly liked the section where Will Smith's character, the spy, turns into the pigeon in the aftermath of that. I thought that whole scene was a lot of fun, and I was laughing during that. There were some parts in it where I thought, well, wait a minute. I know it's PG, but is this a kids movie? Because there was some stuff that was kind of violent, but it goes with the theme of the film, where the theme is really let's stop the vicious cycle of violence, and that theme goes throughout the movie, start to end. So I was like, is it a kids film? Obviously, it's a kids film, but at the same time, 10-year-old plus probably. I'd say PG was a good rating for it. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I think PG was a good rating for it. I'll be honest with you. I at the end I liked this movie. I thought it was really good, but it took me a little while to get into it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was me or what, but like the jokes and stuff really weren't hitting for me until like halfway through, and then after that, I was really enjoying myself. To me, when I was first seeing, it, I'm like, all right, I kind of know these beats a little bit. Go and talk about Walter, who is this kid at the beginning or whatever who comes up with gadgets, but they're kind of unordinary, unorthodox gadgets kind of thing. It was kind of like, you know what? I know what's going to happen with this relationship between he and his mom kind of thing.
Yeah,
We've seen this beat
I saw
before.
I saw his mom was a police officer, and I'm like, dead,
Oh, and of course,
dead cop, mom.
well, the line too, the line that was the kicker was, like where she's like, "Oh, I'll always have your back," kind of thing. And you're like, "Oh man, we know what's gonna come next."
Yep. Yeah, if you're a person who watches movies a lot, this is really just a spoof off of, James Bond films for Sterling. I think Sterling is the character, and I'm like, okay, this is just very familiar. You're absolutely right. Like if you watch movies, you're going to understand the beats and you're going to understand it, but it's made for kids.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the premise of the movie, not with like the pigeons and stuff, but kind of like the problem being the list or whatever, all the agent stuff, like this high tech device getting out and the villain using it to target all the agents. Kind of feels similar to Skyfall in a little bit, and also I think there's actually a scene that might be like directly from Skyfall or one of the Bond films, just when Sterling is like human and when he's like creeping up almost on like the bad guy near the end. And there's this one where it's kind of like that tunnel scene, and then he just kind of pops up in the frame, and it has like the dark lighting and stuff. I'm like, wow, I think I've seen that exact same scene before. I think in a James Bond film.
There's definitely a lot of James Bond going on in this movie. But you know what? James Bond for kids. So I'm okay with it. And again, like the pigeon stuff is pretty funny. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. I thought, oh no, this is just going to be like a Will Smith. He needs some money movie. But really, he did a wonderful job in this movie. I thought his voice acting was great for the secret agent slash pigeon. And Tom Holland is Tom Holland. He's perfectly enjoyable, um, as his role as the weird scientist kid.
Team Weird. Team Weird.
But really, the heart and the soul of this film comes from the message it's trying to get across, and that is we don't have to be violent to one another. We don't have to fight violence with violence. We can actually, treat human beings like human beings, even if they are trying to do bad things.
That's the thing. That's what made Walter kind of like the different, where the movie was shifting. It's like he wasn't coming up with the explosions. That's what Will Smith's character, wanted, his secret agent and stuff.
When
He
I
wants
asked for a grenade.
explosions. I expect a grenade. I don't expect freaking glitter kitty, kind of thing. But Tom Holland's character, Walter's stuff, it worked. It's kind of thing. It's kind of like, well, it had the desired effect and it wasn't hurting anybody kind of thing. So it's kind of like in that it's like, you know, like you said, the big message is we all need to come together and we need to like solve our differences and stuff without violence.
And really, hopefully, if we start treating everyone like humans, everyone equally, then that'll make a better world. That's the idea. And the thing about it is, I like that the message is throughout the entire movie. He keeps saying there's a different way, there's a better way of doing things. And, there's no. They don't let up on that message. That is what they're trying to get across. And they're not aiming it at adults particularly. They're aiming it at youths. Like, hey, let's not perpetuate the cycle. Now, whether or not that kind of message is lost on kids, that's kind of a question. But, parents have to take their kids to go see this movie, so parents see it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the kids might be more interested, like I said, in like the glitter memes and stuff,
Glitter
and
kitty,
the pigeon or whatever. That really reminds me of like Hey from Moana or whatever that eats like the pen and is like spitting out like the different contraptions or whatever throughout the movie and stuff. But talking about like Tom Holland and Will Smith specifically, like you kind of mentioned, it's like, yeah, Tom Holland's Tom Holland and stuff. And Will Smith is definitely Will Smith. I mean, this is like the animated version of Michael Lowry from Bad Boys kind of thing. And Agent J from the Men in Black. Like, it is, it's Will Smith. Like, you can tell even if, you didn't recognize the voice. I don't know how you wouldn't recognize the voice, but just by, what he says and different stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, that is definitely Will Smith.
Now, so if there's one thing to criticize as far as me is that the characters, both the bird and the humans, they can take an amazing amount of damage. They're smashing into brick walls and falling from high heights and getting, just slammed all over the place. And they end up being okay. And I'm thinking, well, geez, what would it take to kill one of these people?
Maybe they're superheroes. The animation style to me felt a lot like The Incredibles, so maybe secretly they're in the Incredibles universe.
Yes, because 20th Century is owned by Disney now.
You belong to Disney!
I don't know. I did. I found this movie much more enjoyable than I thought I was going to find it. And then, again, it's for older kids. I wouldn't show this to, your younger 4 or 5 year olds. It's probably a little bit too violent for them, honest.
Oh yeah, I agree. Definitely not for young kids. And there's some good jokes and stuff in there for adults, and then of course you gotta keep those parents' attentions and stuff.
Matt, it's a cloaca. I know what it is. I just saw it.
Oh, you go back on like when Will Smith's being turned into the pigeon when he's looking at his different body parts and stuff.
I can't not see you. I can see you and my butt at the same time.
Oh man, see us being a pigeon great. No one will ever sneak up behind you.
I loved it. I did. I really did. I really liked the movie. It's one of the more enjoyable kids films that's not like geared towards young kids, so I'm okay with that. If you like this sort of a review and our style we have going on, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to always know what we're posting and when we're posting. And you can also check us out on Facebook. We'll post a day early and say, hey, this is what we're doing. For now, I'm Randall in Texas. Everyone have a great day.
And I'm Matt in Michigan. See you guys.